Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Dr. Thayer and I are back again to talk about week 6. You guys did a great job doing peer review last week.
Good job.
Yeah. And so this week we are going to wrap up our essays.
Mhm.
Woohoo! So we'll be done with our rhetorical analysis after this week. And then we will move on to the next one. But you have to wait till next week's video to hear more about that one.
Just a reminder, make sure that you do complete that peer review reflection assignment. It is open because I knew that there might be a little time buffer between whenever you get your feedback and when your partner does. So make sure you finish that assignment from the previous week. Just a little heads up before we move on.
All right. So this week we have a couple of things due, which we're going to talk about. You have a works cited page, smart thinking, and your final draft. So the first thing we're going to talk about is your works cited page and also just MLA format in general for your essay. So you'll turn in your draft in MLA format so that we can give you feedback and let you know if it is indeed an MLA format. So we're going to talk a little bit today about MLA format. Dr. Thayer, what is MLA format?
MLA, it stands for Modern Language Association, and it's the way that we cite in the humanities and in the English. So there's all different ways of citing. So if you're taking like a psychology class, that's probably going to be an APA, which is the American Psychological Association. So in your humanities, you use what's called MLA format. So there's just different formats depending on the discipline. So of course, because we're an English class, we focus on MLA format. So we're going to go through the 3 top things that you need to remember when it comes to MLA format, and it will help you quite a bit.
Yes, and literally MLA is a group of nerdy academic people like us who have a conference who fight about where to put the commas and the periods, and it's really to promote consistency so that everything's the same in everybody's essays and everyone's not just sort of making up their own rules. So MLA governs, like Dr. Thayer said, 3 different things: the way your document looks, the way your in-text citations are formatted, and your works cited page. So we're going to go through each of those and teach you kind of the quick and dirty tricks for getting this done quickly. So document formatting. We could spend a lot of time going through how to make 1-inch margins and how to format all the things, or we could show you a really quick tip for doing this. So I'm about to open Word and show you guys that instead. Let me get a new document. So let's say that I am writing my essay. Let me go to, oh, cool, I'll get there this way. All right, so, okay. It's being so fun today. Okay, so I'm gonna open a new document in Word. And if I go to like new from template in Word, and depending on what kind of Word you have, it might look a little different.
Yeah, on a Mac, it looks like this, but if you're just using a regular PC, when you go to like open, instead of going to a blank document, you can put in MLA and an MLA style paper. Yeah, exactly.
And so I just typed in MLA, and so MLA style paper comes up. So if I open one of these, I can use this as my thing, as my template. So I can type in my name. So Lauren Fletcher. Oh, I don't know how to spell it. I don't know how to spell my last name either, guys. Let's say I'm in Dr. Thayer's class. I'm going to put Dr. Thayer, et cetera, last name up here. And so this actually sets it all up for you, which is extremely helpful. And you don't have to mess with any of it.
Absolutely. So, now, the only thing is the works cited page is not correct on this. So whenever you get to that, don't use that as the template because that's in a very old, outdated version of it. So, but it does have the hanging indent, which is a good starting point, which means that 2nd and 3rd line are tabbed over. So don't delete it completely. It's formatted. You just don't want to use the formula. Yeah, exactly. Oh, look at that. Oh, so nice.
So beautiful.
So that is the go-to when it comes to formatting for your essay. If you have an essay that you have to write in APA format, you can put in APA and that will pop up. So just a little heads up, make life easier for you when it comes to formatting. Just start from the template or copy and paste your essay over into that template.
There you go. So thing 1, done. Easy breezy. Next thing that MLA governs is the way that works are cited within your essay. And these are called in-text citations. You might also hear them called parenthetical citations sometimes. But it's basically telling the reader I got this information from somebody else.
Exactly. And that's where your illustrations are, right? So you have your points in your own words. Your illustration is where you're bringing in examples from the TED Talk. So whenever you are incorporating an outside source like your TED Talk, you in the parentheses, you'll put the author's or the speaker's last name and the timestamp. So in that example here, we have the quote. We finish our quote and then we open our parentheses, we put his last name, St. John, and then just put the time marker and close our parentheses and period. Notice there's no comma in between, nothing like that. It's just last name, time marker. And the period comes after that parentheses as if it's part of the sentence.
Because it is.
It is.
You don't get 2 periods per sentence, so you can't put one after tick and one after the citation.
Yeah.
And if you put the period after where it says tick at the end there, then it looks like the St. John is actually part of the next sentence. So that's another trick to remember it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's that. And if you need to know the timestamp, go back to that transcript we showed you guys for the TED Talk, because that will help you out tons and tons.
Absolutely. And remember, you only cite the TED Talk. That's all you're bringing in. So that's the only thing that you are going to cite and put on your works cited page.
Yep, because this is a close analysis of something. So we're not bringing in any outside resources to help us out at all. Okay. Thing 1 done, document formatting and text citations done. The last and final thing is your works cited page. You will notice that we actually have an MLA page in Canvas that will be very helpful. That's linked. But for your works cited page, that is a list of works that you have cited within your essay. Now, the way it goes, it used to be there were different formulas for everything, but now MLA is easy. Easy-ish, and there's one formula for everything. So you go through this, these are called the core elements, and you go through one by one and fill it in. So the author, that's the speaker of your TED Talk. So if I was doing Ken Robinson, it would be Robinson, comma,
Ken.
Did you put sir?
I guess you could put Sir Ken, period.
Is that his honorific? Yeah. Okay.
But
go ahead.
The thing I really like about this is it also shows you how to punctuate. So author, period, title of source, period, commas all up until location, period. So this is a formula. You do not memorize MLA. You just go to the MLA module, pull up this formula, and this is going to help you.
It definitely will. Here are some tips that are also in the module of like 9 times out of 10, if students have errors on their works cited page, these are the errors that we find.
So there's some easy ones, right? So works cited is a separate page. Title is works cited. There's no bold on it, no underlining. The hanging indent, if you go from that template, it's already hanging indent. If you don't know how to do it, Ms. Fletcher, can you show them real quick?
Oh my gosh, right, in real life, or tell them how to do it?
Oh
yeah, I will show them. But also, just so you know, if you ever need to know how to do anything in the entire world, you can Google it. That's my go-to for everything. So I'm gonna do a new document as if I were creating this from scratch, which I will not be doing because I'm smart and I will use my works cited template. So I am going to go ahead, sorry, I cut you out. So I've got works cited at the top. Now, Dr. Thayer, is that right? Or
no, because that needs to be centered.
That needs to be centered. So I'm going to go ahead and center that. So let's say I'm making my citation. I'm going to go back to left line. Blurb, 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 blurb. Uh-oh. That second line is supposed to be indented half an inch. So different ways you can do it. If you're on a Mac like I am, if you right click on it, you just need to get to paragraph. So on Word on a PC, a lot of times it's up at the top. There's like a little arrow under here that you can shoot out, but you just need to get to the paragraph function. And if you can get there, there's a thing that says indentation and it says special. You change it to hanging. Now, I also know I'm going to need to double space this. So while I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and change my line spacing to double. I'm gonna click OK. Ooh, that's so nice. And then other nice thing about it is I don't have to keep doing it.
Yes.
Like it's just gonna keep going for me every time. So boom, done. Now let's say that I forgot this. I can Google it. I can Google how to do it on a Mac, how to do it on an iPad, how to do hanging indent on pages, whatever you're using, there is a help sheet on how to do it on the internet or a YouTube video. Okay, cool. So that's another thing.
So hanging indent, that's a big one. You want to just make sure that it's not the first line that's indented. It's after that. Okay. Double space everything. Sources are alphabetized. You just have one, so you don't really need to worry about that for this one. Article title should be in quotation marks. So the article title for this one would be the title of your TED Talk.
Correct.
Okay. So that would be in quotation marks. Title case. This is something that we will say quite a bit. And a lot of students will ask, what does that mean? Title case, first of all, it's on the top of page 10 of the MLA guide, but you have something called sentence case. Sentence case means that you are writing it as if it were a sentence. Title case is when you are capitalizing the first letter of important words in a title. Makes it look like a title instead of a sentence. So that's what title case means. No all caps. What you doing?
Well, I was just going to show them, for example, I'm like,
that is
we're using our book staggers, but like, this is a book about the Winnie the Pooh. I don't know why I have this, but it's in my office. The world of Pooh, like notice the is capitalized, world is capitalized, Pooh is capitalized, but of is not. So like certain words are and are not capitalized in title case. And that shows you what those are.
Can you put our support back?
No. Yeah. Also, it makes us look better from a higher angle.
Okay, we look amazing. Thank you so much. All right, so we have title case, no all caps. Even if your TED Talk has it on the TED website in all caps, you will reformat it for MLA.
Why can't I use all caps?
Because MLA told us not to.
And also it's yelling.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be like, how to be successful in your business. Like that's rude. You can't yell at us. That's not nice. It hurts my feelings. Okay.
Italicized titles of containers.
What's a container?
Title of a container, or the container is like your website. It's the thing that contains the article or contains the TED Talk. So the container in this one would be TED, right? Or TED.com. Yeah. Right. So we would have our title of our talk would be number 6, the article title in quotation marks. The container would be number 8, the TED Talk. The TED Talk would be the container.
What? TED.com is the container. Dr. There's
I just got broken.
The title of your TED Talk is the article title. That's in quotation marks. TED.com is where it's found, because you never you're not just finding articles lying around on the street, right? They're always contained in something, whether it's a website or like an academic journal, a magazine, a newspaper. Like they're always contained in something. Sometimes they're even double contained. Like you might have an article that was in a newspaper and then you accessed it through a database. So you can have multiple containers. For TED.com, you just have that one container.
Yes. Also something just to remember, it always goes, regardless of whatever format or source you have, author, article title and quotes, container in italics.
Yep.
Quoted material and then italicized after, okay? Italicized, right? So just know your first 3 things should be speaker of your TED Talk, title of your TED Talk in quotes, TED.com in italics, okay? Or TED, whatever. So those are the first 3 things. All right, number 9, remove hyperlinks. So no blue whatsoever on your works cited page.
Should we show them how to do that? So one of the things you'll notice in MLA is that you have to have a location, and a location for a website is a web address. So I'm actually going to pull up like Sir Ken Robinson's TED Talk. Okay. And I'm going to get the TED Talk, the TED address, the web address for TED.
It's Monday.
Oh my goodness. I have
like
so much trouble speaking today. It's if I've lost my mind. Okay.
Talking is hard.
It is, you guys. It really is. So I'm pulling it up. Here it is. I'm going to copy it. And now I'm going to paste it in my beautiful Works Cited page that we previously made. So here it is. Okay. Here, my beautiful Works Cited page. Here we go. And I'm going to paste it. Now you'll notice, it did things that were bad. It hyperlinked. So hyperlinking is the blue underline that you can click on. I also know that in MLA, I've got to see, I don't want to be able to do that. I've got to be able to, I need to remove the HTTPS stuff too. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to remove that stuff. So it starts with the www, but it's still underlined. Ugh, what do I do about that? If you right click on it, and you click on hyperlink, you can do remove hyperlink.
Yes.
You can also highlight it, click Control K. Again, if you can't figure out how to do it on your device, Google how to remove a hyperlink in whatever program you're in. And honestly, worst case scenario, if you really can't figure it out, you know what you can do? You can just ununderline it and make it black. I'm not going to click through your works cited. Maybe
Yes.
Dr. Thayer is going to.
I do. I no. Well,
She
and this
loves
is one of those, MLA is a little overly nitpicky. And in my opinion, I don't know about you, but this is one of those things that I'm like, it's a little
a thing.
overly nitpicky. But we do need to bring it over, right? We need to have that now in a hanging indent.
Yeah, well, we would. It's just.
You're not going to put it in hanging indent. You're just leave it like that.
The last and final thing is to put a period at the end of your citation.
That's it. Just put a period.
Yep. Location is usually the last thing. And
ta-da, 1 through 9.
Boom.
Now, not every single source is going to have numbers 4, 5, 6, and 7. Usually you'll find a date, but it's okay. Work with what you have. Online sources will not always have a version or a contributor. Okay. So this is not, you don't drive yourself crazy looking for things that may or may not be there.
Yep.
There most definitely will be sometimes an author, maybe not.
Your TED Talk should have a speaker.
Yeah, TED Talk should. 1, 2, and 3, absolutely. 7, 8, and 9.
Yep.
So just
you are also going to get assistance from a professional.
Yes.
You've had peer review in our class, and now it's time to get feedback from professional assistants. So you have 2 options to do that. One is Smart Thinking. That's the option most students use. It's an online tutoring service that you have access through your Canvas course shells. There are instructions on Canvas under help sheets, but basically you just click on Smart Thinking, you submit your essay, and there are step-by-step instructions with screenshots that are really easy to follow.
Absolutely.
The important thing to remember is to submit it on time. Why is that?
Because you need to give them time to look at your essay and give feedback. They give really great feedback. You just have to give them the opportunity to do that. So you want to make sure that you submit this, I would say at least by Thursday.
Yeah.
So that way you get your feedback, especially if they have a lot of essays coming in at the same time. It might take an extra day or so. So err on the side of caution. The sooner you submit to Smart Thinking, the better. Okay. So you really want to make sure you upload that ASAP.
Yeah. And then once they finish reviewing your essay and giving you feedback, they'll send you an email with the, instructions on how to retrieve it. And then you will actually submit that tutor report as proof that you did it. So you do want to make sure that you submit it by Thursday at the latest, because if you say to us, oh, like I don't take late Smart Thinking submissions.
No, not at all.
Neither does Dr. Thayer. So if you say, oh, well, I submitted it, but I never got it back. If it shows that you submitted it by Thursday, then I'm going to excuse it. Yeah, I'm going to excuse it. But if it shows that you submitted it Monday morning, Sunday night, like it's not, I'm not going to excuse it. So make sure that you submit it on time. And there is a reminder in Canvas to do that on Thursday.
And the tutors that are reading over your essay are actually the tutors from our Learning Commons here at TCC. Well, yeah.
Or they're professional tutors.
And so their feedback is really good. The reason why we don't take it late is because we want to make sure that you are using the feedback. It's not just about submitting an assignment and getting the points. It's about being able to use the feedback that you got.
And make revisions to your draft based on that.
So that's why we don't take it, because after the essay's done, what is the purpose of that assignment?
Yeah, it loses its usefulness.
Yeah.
So the other option is to visit the Learning Commons virtually if you'd rather talk with somebody face-to-face as much as virtually as face-to-face.
Yeah.
There's instructions there for how to do it as well. So as a recap, what is due this week?
So on Thursday, you have your works cited page. And actually, I want your entire essay formatted into MLA format. So just put your works cited page at the end of the essay. So formatted essay with your works cited page. And then you want to make sure that you submit your draft to Smart Thinking. By the 15th, we are wrapping it up. Professional assistance is due. So that tutor report that you got and Smart Thinking, that is what you will submit to that assignment. And there are submission and retrieval instructions in the help sheets in Canvas. And then your final draft is due on the 15th. So you want to make sure you get all of those in, because after that, we are moving right into our next essay.
And it's going to be fun, you guys. All right. Well, if you have any questions, as always, please email us or set up a time to meet with us during office hours. We look forward to reading your essays. We've been working so hard on these. So
all right.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Bye.